Today we ran Clackamas River from hole-in-the-wall to toilet bowl at 1300 CSF. This is after the recent floods. Put in a hole-in-the-wall is a beachy, rocky, put in with a nice slide for rafts. The first major rapid is hole-in-the-wall. After you go past these initial rocks, you want to start moving to the right side of the river. At higher flows, hole-in-the-wall can be quite dangerous with a recirculating eddy on the left side. Just keeps pushing to the right and fighting to the right. If you don't want to mess with the wall, you can always abort. After hole-in-the-wall, there are some small rapids which are quite fun. This channel on the left side is the main line. As you go down this run, the waves progressively get larger, with some potential surf waves at the bottom. In the past, there was a log that was blocking a good portion of this channel, but that log in the recent floods moved on. Just below this rapid is one of the best surf waves on the upper part of the Clackamas. It's a river-wide surf wave, and so multiple people can actually ride it at once. The small rapid after the surf wave, which is really not consequential. If you want to avoid it, you can just stay to the left. At higher flows, it can get a little tricky with eddy lines. This is definitely the best surf wave on the run. You'll see these large rocks on the left side of the river. Start moving to the left side as much as you can and pop into the eddies. There are two surf waves, this wave and the following wave. If you miss the upper surf wave eddy, you can catch the lower eddy. There's this seam that you ride up on top of and then paddle hard and you can drop in the wave. It's super smooth, super fast, and really fun. If you want to ride it again, you can pop out on the eddy on the right side on river left. We surfed here several times. Again, the real trick is to work up on this little seam and then drop into it. Again, this is at 1300 CSF. Below the surf wave, there is a river hazard, which is this signpost which sticks up in the middle of the river. It's above the rapid, above the Fish Creek Bridge. If you notice, you'll see the Fish Creek Bridge downstream. At 1300 CSF, the signpost barely sticks above the water. The next major rapid is Fish Creek. It has a beautiful entrance and used to be a put-in point. The rapid has changed after the flood and feels slightly more chaotic, but also it ends a little bit sooner than it used to. So there's now a pool at the bottom of the rapid, whereas there used to be no real pool. The character of the rapid is a lot of waves, which progressively get larger at larger flows, with the diagonal sort of chaotic character to the waves as you move down. No big holes. At the bottom of the rapid, you want to start pushing to the right, but it's much easier than it used to be. There's a wave here just below Fish Creek, which looks like it would be surfable, but I've never found a good flow where you can actually surf it. The next major rapid is Armstrong. This rapid also feels like it might have changed a little bit during the flood. If you want to run the rapid, stay to the right. If you don't want to run the rapid, stay to the left. At certain flows, the rapid and the hole can get quite sticky, but at this flow, it was fairly easy. There are a few small rapids below Armstrong, which are fun, and there's another wave where you can try to surf just below these weird eddy lines. This is the better surf wave that you can try and catch. It's not as good as the upper waves, but it's still pretty fun. It's a very shallow shelf where my boat is right now, and so it's a little bit more difficult to paddle onto the wave. Carter Bridge is definitely the biggest rapid on the run historically, but I think it's changed and it feels like it's mellowed out. The upper section is more challenging than it used to be, with several waves which are breaking now, which didn't used to be the case. The left side is also filled in with many rocks that used to not be there. The main line is stated to the left. You want to stay about 15 or 20 feet from the shore. You stay just to the right of that rock as I'm passing it and move down. There's a very smooth ramp immediately after this curler. If you hit the middle of it, you can really go through it nicely. You then have to make a few choices. There's a sneaker hole up here. You really have to choose whether you want to go right or left. I'm going to go to the left of it. We'll see in the next section that John goes right. So if you stay to the right a little bit further, we'll take a line like this. Again, you take the smooth course over the hole, but then John starts hitting the holes. So the first hole is this one. The sneaker hole is coming up, and it's really hard to see. It's immediately after this bulge. So you kind of can choose your line based on what you want to deal with. After Carter Bridge, there's this sort of weird eddy line rapid, which really isn't consequential unless you have trouble with eddy lines. And after that, there's a pretty good section of flat water until you get to Slingshot. Slingshot has also changed and feels a little more chaotic at these lower flows than I remember it ever being. There are lots of strange diagonal waves that will hit you, and you just kind of have to be on your toes. After Slingshot, there's a lot of flat water until you reach Big Eddy. I think Big Eddy is also mellowed out, and you can take the main line through it now. It used to be that there was a rock which stuck up, which made that difficult, but that rock seems to have moved on. After Big Eddy, start pushing to the right so you don't get trapped in the eddy. Rock and Roll, I think, is one of the hardest rapids on the river right now. I found that the line you can take is to go to the right of this large rock and then push back to the left immediately. The bottom of the rapid is really chaotic. Lots of diagonal waves going all directions, but if you stay to the left, you can have a pretty smooth line and just punch through a few big holes. Immediately after Rock and Roll, around the corner is Toilet Bowl, which has also changed after the flood. I like to start to the left of the middle and go around the first section of rocks, and then start moving to the right side. There's a large hole in the middle of the rapid that used to not be as hard to the middle as it is now. Just keep moving to the right, and you'll see that I'm just on the edge of the hole, just to my left. If you go too far to the right, as I kind of do in this case, you get stuck on this corner, which gets, again, fairly chaotic. On John's run, he took a little bit different line, a little bit more to the left. If you go too far left, you will get stuck in that first hole. But if you just kiss the edge of it and then start moving back to the left, you can stay in the main line better and really hit these big waves head on. There is some potential to try and surf these waves. John was able to catch one or two. So if you want to surf after Toilet Bowl, just eddy out on river left. The main takeout for this run that we are using is immediately after Toilet Bowl on this small beach on the right side on river right. This is above Bob's Hole, so if you want to do Bob's Hole, you'll have to take out at Moore Creek, which is a little bit further downstream. The hike out isn't too bad with several rocky sections, but it's not as easy as Moore Creek. So if you have mobility issues, I would definitely vote if you go to Moore Creek.